Hello, Michelle. I'm delighted to be chatting with you again.
I know I'm usually doing the book reviews, but I believe
Yeah,
I'm doing a little bit different tonight.
yeah. You've had some big news, haven't you, since last time we chatted?
I have
With your
indeed.
own writing, not reviewing
Yeah.
other people's writing, but your very own.
Yeah, I got signed to Luna Eden Publishing.
Brilliant.
That was a referral from you. You told me how great Luna were. And yeah, so I bit the bullet and I sent off my manuscript and yeah, she signed me up.
Brilliant.
So big
Wh- Which
shout out to Trisha.
which one did you send?
I sent one that it's a new one. It's called
Okay.
Revival
Yeah.
and Upcycle, and it's like a thriller romance.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's different to what I usually write.
Yeah.
Um, because usually I write young adult, as you know, or
Yeah.
paranormal romance.
Yeah.
Um, so this was a different one altogether. Um. And it started off as a plain old romance, but then, as you know, what happens when you're writing, things happen and
Yeah.
your plot goes. I know like some people tend to write like, and they plot it
Yeah.
at the beginning to the end.
I
I
have to.
can't do that.
No, I
Do
don't know.
you?
You can't. You can't do it. I, I couldn't just let it sort of take it by itself. I don't know how you do that.
I'm of the Graham Greene literary train of thought
Yeah.
because Graham Greene once said, "You've only ever got a grip on your characters
Yeah.
until they start writing their own stories." And let me tell you, my characters do. And so yeah, so it started off as like I try to focus on social issues, and I did that with all of the young adult novels,
Yeah.
novellas that I wrote. They all had social issues
Yeah.
as a backdrop
Yeah.
to the outstanding storyline. Of course, the social issue with survival, revival, and upcycle was that she'd been married for 23 years. She's in her mid 40s. She's not feeling particularly good about herself because her husband ran off with a girl half her age.
Yeah.
So she's reeling from that. So now she's at a point, her name's Holly. She's at a point where she's never going to trust another man as long as she lives. She thought she knew this man inside out, upside down, back to the front, and wrong way round. And then all of a sudden, wham, he's kicked her out the house.
Yeah.
She was told to come pick her stuff up. It was all in boxes thrown on the yard
Yeah.
and smashed up.
Ah.
So, she's now doesn't trust any men as far as she can throw them. When onto the scene comes what she thinks, because she runs a charity shop, Co's Cat charity shop, which feeds. So her parents and sister run a cat rescue,
Okay.
and the charity shop feeds the cat rescue.
Right.
And she's just about to close up one night, and what she thinks is a tinker or somebody who's going to, raid the shop.
Yeah.
It's the middle of winter. He's in a Ushanka hat, scarf pulled up,
Yeah.
and he bursts in through the door, and she thinks she's getting done over.
Yeah.
And then when he takes his cladding off, he's just like this really gorgeous man. Um, he buys up most of the furniture in the shop because he runs a recycling and upcycling business.
Yeah.
But what he does is, and this is where she's really going to find it hard to trust him because he worked in the adult industry.
Yeah.
And now he pulls young boys out of prostitution,
Yeah.
takes them in, teaches them a trade, gives them an address, and hopefully sets these boys back on, a road to living a normal life,
Yeah.
getting off the game. The thing is, he does this, the but he's got a dodgy deal going on with the girl who destroyed her marriage.
Hmm.
And what she's doing is getting in with married blokes, getting them to turf their wives out when she's sure that, she's sure that they own the property, that,
Yeah.
they can they can maneuver things to move her in.
Yeah.
She does that. She's very young, she's very pretty, she's getting these older men to boot their wives out,
Yeah.
moving in,
Yeah.
giving, selling all the old furniture to Vince.
Yeah.
And then she's got credit cards. She's getting the men to buy all this furniture, give her the money for it. She's putting on her credit card, so she owns everything outright.
Yeah.
Gives it a couple of months. Well, one day while they're at work, she puts everything in a van and leaves.
Oof, lovely lady.
She owns everything outright.
Hmm.
Yeah, so the men are coming home to find their houses completely empty. But of course, she's in this
Hmm.
with Vince,
Yeah.
and Holly finds out.
Okay.
And there's more to it than that. Holly's niece works for her, and she's very young, very pretty, 18-year-old who makes a play for Vince. Vince isn't interested. And she sees other young women making a play for Vince, and Vince isn't interested. And she's sort of like, oh, hang on a minute. He's got young, attractive women making a play for him, and he's chasing after me.
Hmm.
Something's not right here.
Hmm.
Something isn't right. And then he starts talking about, yeah, well, we can take all the furniture for the charity shop and upcycle it. And she's like, oh, that's your game.
It's a
So,
great introduction, that, Michelle.
eh?
Really is. That's a brilliant introduction.
You have to see what happens, won't you? Her niece goes missing into the adult entertainment industry, and she disappears. And then they have to start wondering, did he have something to do with it? Is he the reason the niece has gone missing? Is he really trafficking people? Is he
Yeah.
really pulling people out the porn industry, or is he trafficking them?
Yeah. Wow. That's quite a heavy tone, heavy genre.
Different, isn't it?
Definitely, yeah, definitely. This one, like the Verona College series, there's 5 novellas in that. Has this one got legs? It sounds like it has. You're gonna make a series out of it, or is it a one-off?
Um, I was thinking of setting them all because they're all set in Bezic
Yeah,
so far.
yeah.
Um, so I'll have to see because I don't know at the minute whether there is another one written.
Yeah.
There is another book written. I've actually just put the end on it.
Oh yeah.
But it hasn't got a title yet.
Yeah.
Um, so they're all set in the same area, and this one as well. It's not so much a thriller, maybe. Well, yeah, it is. Yeah, actually, it is. Yeah, actually, you can call it a romantic thriller.
Yeah.
So it's another one that, so but again, I haven't even done the first edit yet. So
Okay. Oh, early days.
gonna
What,
go through.
Michelle, what's happening with the Verona College series? You keep them sort of separate from your deal with Patricia at Luna Eden. Are you gonna keep them yourself on Amazon?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't know for now. Again, it's all Patricia and I have discussed it, but
Yeah.
I think I confused her a bit because it does get very convoluted because you've got like I've got a crime series that's on the go that's
Yeah.
also set in Kazakhstan, which it's adult, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on at the minute.
Okay.
And I've got a one book deal.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with that. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I
Um,
I always think when I speak to authors who've got like a series of novels, they sort of complement each other. The more you write, if someone reads one of your books, they look for another one with your name on the cover. And if you've got this, you've got a decent catalogue behind you like you have, it's
yeah.
always going to increase sales, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, I hope so. Well, I hope so. I mean, the Verona College series, for an unknown indie writer did pretty well.
Yeah, no, I feel.
Um, it didn't have massive sales, but it was, and it's still selling.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I can't fault it.
Okay. The image behind you, Michelle, can I just ask you about that? Is that from the right price?
Yes, it
It is.
is.
Yeah,
Um, that is the book that sold the most,
yeah. I had the pleasure
which,
of reading that myself. Like you gave me an
yeah,
advance copy, didn't you? I really enjoyed it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, did
I
you
think
for me?
I did. Well, the subject matter. I'd never read one of that sort of genre before, and it sort of opened my eyes about how much I enjoyed it.
Oh, good.
It's not one that I would normally walk into a bookshop and look in that particular genre.
Yeah.
But after reading your book, I would. It opened the door for me.
Fab, fab, and I'm glad the fact that it was LGB didn't put you off.
It didn't. Well, to be honest, I had such like mild reservations as I'm reading it. I've never read any of this style before, this
Yeah.
genre, and I, I'm not going to say reluctantly because I just kept my mind open and I just enjoyed it as a great story, great characters, a great story,
Yeah.
regardless of the genre.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I know that it's resonated with the LGB community,
Yeah.
uh, which is fantastic. That's kind of like the area that I was aiming for anyway, and there will be, I hope,
Yeah.
another LGB novel at some point, a full size novel at some point.
How do you gonna find time? I mean, you do a massive amount of reading anyway with your literary reviews and your websites and things, and you're writing quite a great deal as well. Do you have any
And
spare time at all?
no, but I don't think I could handle spare time. I'm also back on TV as well.
Yeah,
I don't think I could handle spare time.
yeah.
I have to be active the whole time.
And you're working
Uh,
full time anyway, aren't you, regardless of your writing.
uh, but I tend to do my writing at lunchtime in work.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I come home because right now I'm rewriting a very early novel called Grey Stings, which
Oh
was
yeah, I was
probably
going to ask you about that. That's not on Amazon. I looked for that before. It's not on Amazon. Are
no,
you updating that? You put like a fresh version out?
it's having a complete rewrite.
Okay.
It's when I wrote Grey Stings,
Yeah.
it was before I worked with Nikki Richards. It was the executive editor,
Yeah.
and it was before I went to Oxford University. So I didn't write very well.
Oh, oh,
Hands up.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So those early novels are going to get a complete overhaul
Mm.
because thanks to Nikki, I found my voice
Oh,
now.
excellent. Yeah.
Um, and I'm even going to go back and redo, maybe, not redo them, but
Mm.
definitely the likes of Two Houses and Pretend Girlfriend.
Yeah.
By the time you get to the right price, you see more of my voice coming out
Yeah.
than there was in the original two, um, the original. Because by that time, I'd worked with Nikki, but it's still they're not in my voice, and my literary voice is
Yeah.
quite distinctive.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one thing that Patricia was saying. She loves the way I write because it's very punchy, very realistic.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've got my own style.
Well, it's a natural process, and you've written that many books now. You've got this decent back catalogue. It's always going to improve every time you put pen to
Yeah,
paper. It must do.
yeah. And I read now like so I'll give you an example of Grace things. I'll just take out a little snippet of Grace things so you can see the difference in writing.
Okay.
So we're on chapter 13, and she has just gone to, because this is the bit that I'm working on at the minute. She's
Right.
just gone to the head office. She didn't want to. And she's basically running away from her new boss.
Yeah.
And when she originally meets Dimmy, or Dimitrash, it's this is the first the first meeting with Dumitrash the in the original book, and hang on, I'll just get to the same point. I made my way to the second floor where Dumitrash's office was located. Somewhere deep in the confused chasms of my mind, I vaguely remembered that the position Charlene had taken up was something to do with him. When I got there, I found a waiting area, which was quite a relief. Vampires don't need to sleep, but they do need to rest to rejuvenate. I sat and took stock of myself. My shoes were practically worn to the insole. Good job I'd worn flat shoes. I hope no camera cut. Speed I was going on foot. I was filthy, splashes from where it had been raining. Somewhere in my reverie of the state of my attire, I decided to smell my surroundings. I could smell Charlene. I recognised her perfume. It just goes down. I got lucky when the first person to appear was Charlene. I wasn't sure whether she knew about my kind. Somehow I figured she'd have to have been in such close proximity to us. As she greeted me, Dumitrash stepped out of his office, which was something I wasn't expecting, although really I should have done. With vampires being nocturnal creatures, it would stand to reason he would work at night. He examined me intently, taking in every detail of my unkempt appearance. And her meeting Dumitrash in the new book goes: the lift doors at the other end of the foyer opened without a ding, like you would expect of a brass mirrored door elevator, and out stepped a truly terrifying vampire. Dumitrash Christe, head of human resources, make of that what you will, screamed vampire in a way no other neckbiter ever had, not even Dracula. The little avatar on his emails did not forewarn me that the man, bloodsucker, whatever, could intimidate the crap out of a constipated kangaroo at 100 paces. Confidence oozed from every inactive pore of his unfallible pale epidermis. Buttoning his jacket in that way runway models employ to bring the audience's attention to the perfect cut of the expensive cashmere pale blue suit jacket, he strode across the marble tiles like a lion that had just claimed king of the jungle status. Black Italian brogues clipped quietly in the vast vaulted space, but clanged with doom. Mine. I was about to get fired. Well, FYI, okay. I'd already quit. I lifted my chin and prepared to take the proverbial like a woman. A dead one, but a woman nonetheless.
You can see the difference. There's more confidence tone in the second version, as though
Yeah.
well, it's more you. That's more visual as well in my mind as well, for some reason. I see the
Sorry,
images clearer.
can you?
Yeah,
Yeah, because it's more descriptive,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
He's coming at her.
yeah,
She's bracing.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And you can, yeah, so it's the original version is all I felt, I thought, I blah blah
yeah,
blah.
yeah.
Whereas the new version is, oh heck, he's coming at me.
Yeah, they're more dynamic, aren't they? There's more
Yeah,
action and movement in there.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's a complete rewrite. Complete
Yeah,
rewrite in
yeah.
my voice, in the way that I write. The way
Okay.
that I write now, not the way that I wrote 10 years ago, well, 12 years ago, might even be longer, when
Yeah.
I originally wrote this.
Okay.
I mean, I think I put on Amazon in 2016, 2017,
Yeah.
but I wrote it a long time before that.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, now it's more my voice.
Yeah. Well, you had more life experience since then. More richer experiences.
Yeah.
Or
And
you
I've read a lot more since then as well.
well, exactly that. Well, that only improves, your word count and
Yeah.
your word power.
Yeah. Stephen King said, if you don't read, you can't write.
Yeah. Yeah. That totally agree. To be honest,
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
you know what? I think I've done loads of chats with writers. I think there's only been one of them who said I don't read much. And I thought, what? As a writer, he said. But I think I don't want to name names. I got the impression, I don't know for sure, he sends his manuscript to a ghostwriter who produces the final version, and I'm pretty
Uh,
sure the ghostwriter is a reader.
yeah. Yeah. I think you've got to be. I mean, not being a non-reader, I
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
really
yeah, yeah. Of
comment,
course, yeah,
but
yeah,
I don't think if I didn't read, I could write.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
don't think I'd have the first clue on how to.
Yeah.
I mean, God, my early work's bad enough. But
Oh,
and I was a few thousand bucks down back then.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, no, I don't see how. I sometimes it with some books it does look like somebody has just gone the end and shoved it up on
I
Amazon.
know. Yeah, yeah. With now becoming traditionally published,
Yeah.
how are you going about promoting the work? You still using, you've got a massive following on Twitter. Are you using Facebook or TikTok or Instagram?
I've
How are you going to promote?
set up a new author account on Facebook.
Followed you the other week. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on Threads, Blue
Threads.
Sky. Yeah,
I don't know about Threads. What's the similar to? Oh,
it's like Instagram,
oh yeah.
but it's yeah, it's a good platform for displaying your work.
Okay.
Um, I'm on Scene as well, which is a new platform
Yeah.
or newer, um, solely for creatives.
Oh, yeah.
Um, so if you've got a book out to Terry, jump on there.
Yeah.
You know,
Right scene. Yeah.
Scene.
I'm making a note. Yeah. It's brilliant. Michelle, on that note, I don't think we can
Yeah,
improve on that.
I
Time's run
know.
out. It has, it really has. It's absolutely just flown by as it does in these
It
chats.
has, yeah.
Yeah. But it's got to go off any second. So I'm going to say thanks, Michelle.
All right, wonderful.